Welcome, kids young and old, to the Week 11 edition of the Bad Quarterback League. We have a lot to talk about this week, so let's open up the old...
He's made a mess of it.
We had 4 people across both leagues score negative this week, but those won't be the messes we'll be talking about today. Instead, we're going to talk about Spurgeon TS8 Win and his inability to listen in class. Last week, I explicitly called out everyone who owned Buffalo and why the hell they didn't start them and instead picked the Saints. Apparently, one of you listened, but Spurgeon decided he was smarter than everybody else in the class and went with the Bengals and the Titans. I can't really blame him for the Titans, but Cincinnati at Denver, after what was clearly a Bills QB controversy? Well, I hope next week you don't start the Bengals against the Browns, and I hope you have enough sense not to start the Titans at the Colts. Maybe you'll make the right decision next week. Oh yeah, Tyler Paco sucks too. Over in Moneyballing It, we have the feel-good story of the week. Feels good for Colt Quinn Whedon for sure, but I felt bad about missing out on his score last week, so at least he earned himself a full feature. Mr. Irrelevant 5th place in the Turbush League is now on the radar for promotion after his giant 118-point week thanks to Dallas's 3 picks, a fart, low passing yards, and a benching. Whedon now finds himself only 57 points out of a promotion spot with 6 weeks to go. Now on to more somber news. Despite picking his 2 best teams, Cleo Lemon slides another 12 points back this week as he watches 6th and 7th switch, but gain no ground. Remember that 75-point week you had back in week 5? You need a couple more of those. Perhaps the Jets will return to form just in time for a late season push. Wade, I listened, Wilson starts off week 11 Kirsch League standings once again, and he might from here on out after his huge 147-point week. To think it could have been a 201-point week had he started the Browns, but I don't think he's kicking himself too hard. In second is Talcum Powder, who is, in fact, kicking himself for not starting Dallas. Come on, man. Who doesn't start a team against the best team in the NFL? Kellen Moore swaps places with Johnny Effie Moxon yet again.
We just keep running into each other, don't we, street rat?
But it seems like them and Chad Hutchinson have been going nowhere the past couple of weeks. Cade McNown makes his first "if the season ends today, I'm not getting relegated" debut since week 2, as Green Bay is starting to pay off again. Although I heard rumors of Rodgers getting ready to return, so the battle between McNown and Johnny Football is going to get interesting down the stretch. The aforementioned Mr. Football hasn't had a respectable BQBL week since week 5, when he was still a part of the top 3. But I don't feel too bad for him, as he chose not to start the Rams away from home against the divisional leader. Finally, we have Cleo, who's not completely out of it just yet. If Palco can miraculously avoid relegation the past 2 years, you can too, maybe.
Lastly and leastly, we have the Turbush League, where Ryan Leaf has jumped out in front yet again. If the Colts continue to stop being the BQBL point producer they were earlier in the season, I'd say this second spot is up for grabs. Frenzel did an outstanding analysis of the rest of you relevant guys via email, except for his own 65% promotion number. I think you're a little overconfident, pal. I'm not sure if Whedon's teams can keep up, but don't underestimate Buffalo. They're the new Jets. If Spurgeon TS8 Win would concentrate and pick correctly, he'd be way out in front. Look at his 4 teams and tell me anyone in the league right now who wouldn't do a 4-team swap. What the hell is happening here?